Hey, what's up, fellas? So, yeah, I do apologize for being sick for about a week, man, but don't worry, your boy's back. I feel a lot better. And yeah, if you clicked on this video, you're probably confused what the heck to do with the Barry team on freaking Nexus season. Well, don't worry, your boy's got you. And without further ado, let's get straight into the guide. Ikaze. Alrighty, fellas, let's go ahead and show you the rev cards and the mindscapes for this team. Starting off with our main DPS, Barry. So at Barry, you're going to be running Perseverance and Sorrow. Here is her stats. And now, here's her mindscape. Let's go ahead and talk about our secondary DPS, Makoto Yuki. So at Yuki, you're going to want the Hope and Ruin set. Here is his mindscape. And now let's go ahead and talk about our main strategist, being Cord. Cord, we're going to be running Creation and Reconciliation on her. Here is her mindscape. And now for our main navigator, Migu Dayo. She's going to be running Hope and Labor. And if you do need the A0 highlight rotations, let me know in the comments below and I'll respond to you as fast as I can with the A0 rotations. Here is her mindscape. And now, let's go ahead and talk about Wonder. So for the Wonder daggers, you have a couple of options. If you can't cap out on defense, then I recommend R6 Arc Knife. But if you can, the R6 Curse Dagger or the Phantom Dagger is the best dagger for this fight. Or if you don't have those two, I guess R6 Ex Machina will have to do. Problem with that is you're going to have to probably take out someone from my current Persona lineup, like replacing Yanoshik with, like, I don't know, Neon Show. Anyways, now let's go ahead and talk about the Persona lineups. We're going to be running Dionysus here with Revolution, Rebellion, and Tarukaja to cap out on crit rate and to provide attack boosts. Next is going to be Vasuki. Vasuki, we're going to be using the signature skill Venomous Spiral to inflict damage taken effects, and Rakunda to inflict defense downs. And lastly is Yanoshik. He's really only there to inflict mark once throughout the whole fight. And of course, we're going to do that using Rakunda. And without further ado, fellas, let's get straight into the run. Ikaze. Okay, fellas, let's go ahead and get started. So on the first turn with Wonder, we're going to go ahead and buff up Barry's crit rate with Rebellion here. We'll also get the crit damage passive from Dio as well. And then Cord, if you're A0, I'll have a rotation on the screen for you. I'll be running the A1 rotation today. If you can, make sure you get shocked there, so you get that extra 10% CR. And then Yuki here, we're going to go ahead and use skill 1 to gain his moon phase stacks. And then here, we're not going to highlight. We're going to save that till next turn. Here with Barry, we're going to go ahead and use skill 1. Try to make sure you kill all the adds so you get as many lovesick stacks as you can. And the reason why I don't highlight there is because my Cord is R4, so I get highlight a lot quicker than most of y'all do. Anyways, Miku, we're going to go ahead and skill 1 here. This is going to buff up our Shred and the party-wide attack percentage. We're going to go ahead and Barry highlight here so we can get a chain stack for her. Also, this will give us the crit effects on her highlight as well. Wonder, you're going to go ahead and change to Vasuki. Go ahead and Rakunda the boss so we can cap out on our shreds here and get some bonus damage taken effects. If you want to, you can use an item here like me, the DOT item for example, if you know that you can cap out on crit rate without having to inflict shock. And here Yuki is going to go ahead and do his Fire Theurgy to get full moon and full stacks of moon phase. And then once you're done with that, go ahead and Scarlet Hades, Meester Clean to the face here. And next with Barry, since we're already at full lovesick stacks at A0, we're just going to be spamming S3 for the rest of the fight. The only times her lovesick stacks get higher is probably around like A4 or A3, I don't remember, where she gets like 15 lovesick stacks. Miku, we have Spring Storm now. We're going to go ahead and Spring Storm S2 to amp up our party's weakness damage and personal damage. Okay, now at Wonder, we're going to go ahead and use Fasuki's signature skills to inflict even more damage effect takens. And at Cord, we're going to go ahead and gain Barry's third chain stack here using her big, funny, catchy hook button. And now with this highlight, we're at full chain stacks, and we have full lovesick stacks. And then here at Wonder, you're going to go ahead and use the Fasuki highlight for more damage taken effects. Yuki himself, we're going to go ahead and regain his Moonface stacks using skill 1 here. And then next with Barry, we're going to go ahead and skill 3. That's really all she's going to be doing throughout the rest of the fight, since we now have max love chain stacks and... Wait, my bad. Lovesick and chain stacks. You know what I meant, fellas. Alrighty. Miku's got her third song. We're going to go ahead and activate Miku here. You're going to go ahead and Miku play with Fire S1, as this will amp up our crit damage, and it will reapply the party-wide attack boost. Alright, Wonder himself, we're going to go ahead and change to Dionysus, and then we're going to go ahead and reapply Rebellion onto Barry. And then Cord, we're going to go ahead and use the A0 rotation now. We're going to go ahead and skill 2 onto Barry, amping up her attack and giving us co-star. Yuki himself, we're going to go ahead and do his big fireball go burr. Kodenata, you know the drill. And then Barry is going to be our skill 3 botter here. Going to do some big PP damage. Let's see how much. Nice, 1.1. Very nice. Okay, and then finally next turn, we get the funny Miku S3 button. But before we do that, go ahead and use Wonder's highlight here to amp up the party-wide damage with the Dio highlight. And then now you can go ahead and use Miku S3. And then this is going to give us extra 2 turns. And since this Miku is A2, we get all the effects throughout the fight permanently from skill 1 and 2. Alright, here we're going to go ahead and Yanoshik Rakunda onto the boss. This will also apply Mark. Mark will be permanent throughout the fight, by the way, y'all. Don't worry about losing it throughout the whole rest of the fight. So here, since I'm capped out on crit rate with Cord, I don't have to shock here. So I just use the DOT item to amp up Barry's DOT damage. Yuki here, you're going to go ahead and use Cadenza. Amp up the party-wide damage. Go ahead and regain your Moonface stacks using skill 1. And then next turn, we'll do some big PP damage with Yuki. Alright, here, we're going to go ahead and Cord highlight on Barry's turn. For the damage amp, Barry's going to go ahead and skill 3. Big Scythe go burr. 2.2, very nice. Wonder is going to go ahead and change to Dionysus here. We're going to go ahead and Revolution. Make sure you target Barry so she gets the crit damage from the DO passive. Alright, Cord here. We're going to go ahead and funny catchy hook button. Keeping the crit effect from the highlight active for Barry. Very nice. And then here, you're going to go ahead and double Barry highlight, because this turn is where we do the most amount of damage. And then with Yuki, you're going to go ahead and do his funny Scarlet Hades go burr. Just showing y'all the stat debuff screen here. So go ahead and use Scarlet Hades since we have full moon phase and full moon itself. Holy damage. Okay. And then Barry herself, you're going to go ahead and skill 3. This is going to be her big damage turn. 2.26, very nice. And there's Miku. So let's go ahead and activate Heaven S1 to reapply the Shred and the party-wide attack percentage boost. Yeah, Barry is pretty fun to play. I thought she was kind of complicated at first, but she's not so bad, y'all. Just takes a little bit of reading. We're going to go ahead and reapply Fasuki's signature skill there. Cord, we're going to go ahead and reset her rotation using skill 2 on Barry. And then here, we're going to go ahead and use the Fire highlight, fire theurgy, giving us that full moon that we need for Yuki. Alright, Wonder himself, we're also going to go ahead and highlight with him to inflict some damage taken effects. Yuki is going to go ahead and regain his moon phase stacks using skill 1. Barry, we're going to go ahead and skill 3. Big Scythe go Burr. 1.8. Okay, the final Migu Dayo song. We're going to go ahead and Spring Storm S2 to reapply the weakness damage and the personal damage amp for the squad. Alright, Wonder himself, we're going to go ahead and, for the last time, change to Dionysus and Tarukaja onto Barry. And then here, if you can cap out on CR, like me, for example, with this Barry setup, I'm at around 99.1%. You can just go ahead and use an item here. I'm going to go ahead and use the DLT item to buff Barry's DLT damage. And for the last time, Yuki's going to go ahead and assist Barry to amp up her damage. And then here, we're going to go ahead and do Big Fireball Go Burr. And then Barry herself, you're going to go ahead and use Barry skill 3 for the final time. GG's, fellas. Guys, thank you so much for watching this Guild Boss guide. And again, my apologies for being absent for about a week. I was really sick, like, I'm not kidding, y'all. I started coughing, sneezing. It was not a fun time, but hey, we're back, y'all. And if you really enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. And we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Just about less than 200 more. And my milestone of 1K will be realized, y'all. So let's get to that goal if we can, y'all, by the end of this year. And if you do have any questions, leave a comment down below. And I'll get to you as fast as I possibly can. Besides that, look forward to future videos, future guides, future video essays. I have a lot cooking in my head for this game that I do want to realize. And yeah, until the next one, y'all. Deuces.